This is Morten from INKISH. As you may have seen on LinkedIn and on INKISH TV, we have made quite a few interviews with people that are exhibiting at Hunkeler Innovationdays. And it's always great for me in particular because I get to learn so much from so many different people that my head is exploding. And today I'm going to talk to Bernd, who is the CEO of a company called Karma. And I checked out their website this morning, and you should do that under all circumstances yourself because they do some really nice products. But Bernd, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit what Karma is?
Thank you, Morten. Thank you for being able to join this interview sessions, and I'm very happy to explain a little bit more about myself, a bit about Karma, and then also a bit about the Hunkeler Innovation Days and our interest or our intention why we are exhibiting there, because it's the first time since 10 years that we decided to go to
really?
Lucerne.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. But tell me a little bit about yourself and your company first so we get an understanding of who we're talking to.
My name is Bernd Sauter, as you mentioned already. I'm the CEO of Karma, who is based in Dresden. I'm 25 odd years working in the graphic arts industry, mechanical engineer. I worked many years for Müller-Martini, Swiss company, and 3 years ago, basically, I joined Karma as the CEO there, together with Steffen Pieper, who is my co-partner in the company. We produce machinery in the finishing area, dedicated for commercial customers as well as packaging customers. Our bread and butter machine is the ProCut 76, which is a die cutter and embellishment machine. B2 format is our format. We also do a smaller version, 58, but the main focus is on the B2 format. Besides of the die cutters and embellishment solutions, we also offer folder gluers, and we have two in the program. One is more dedicated for the commercial customers. You can do basically everything you need to fold, starts from folders and ends in boxes. And then we have a very special short run box folder gluer, which is mainly focusing on really short runs, fully automated machine. And we look at the pharma market and cosmetic markets for smaller boxes, but for very short runs. Obviously, looking at short runs, you need to do the workflow as well, so all machines are able to connect to the customer's workflow. That's basically
Fantastic.
The program we offer.
Fantastic. Bernd, I mean, it seems to be a really nice and complementary range of products you have. It also sounds like you have been busy, right? How was the situation 3 years ago when you joined? I mean, because with your background from Müller-Martini, you obviously have been trained good, right?
Well, actually, when I joined, that was in the first lockdown of COVID. That was a very special situation, as you can imagine. And we suffered in 2020 quite a bit due to the lockdown, and we're not able to travel anywhere. It worked better in 2021 and 2022. We fully recovered. Yeah. It's been really interesting for me moving from Müller-Martini to Karma. Not only from the products, from the areas point of view as well, from the branches. We are now looking much more on packaging. Packaging business is more than 50% of our turnover, so that's where we focus on. And since we come from the commercial printers, we also want to, let's say, we join them in their transition, and that's something which really keeps us busy. A lot of customers want to move on to packaging, want to take part of this packaging growth, and this helps us for offering machines which work in both worlds. You do the embellishment and a little bit of die cutting in commercial, and also then you can focus on your packaging business as well.
When I asked you, I was a little bit curious because I was thinking that that when you have such a broad range of products and you have like both the commercial and the packaging thing, and you talk about you have the bread and butter machine, the changes in the market when I look at everything from the digital transformation that requires fast setup time integrated to the workflow as you spoke about, and also, I mean, I guess it needs to be very fast in these changing times also to get under your skin, so to speak. Is that a challenge when you talk about something mechanically that is so fine in the details? Because when I look at your website and I saw the machines where you had like I saw there was a photo of where you had like embossing and debossing, and you had like the foils, and I mean it requires a lot of in the old days it required a lot of tooling. But the tooling is always the issue when you go into digital, because if you only make 1 or 2 or 10 copies, then the tooling will become too expensive. Is that something Karma addresses in your development?
Yes, definitely we do. We see ourselves in this short run area. Now you have to see something I also learned when I came from the book business, moving into the packaging business. Obviously in the book business you speak about one-offs and really ultra short runs. In packaging it's a bit different. You speak about very short runs, it's still a few hundreds. And then you have to keep in mind that the box size very often is the same, although the picture is different, the print is different.
Okay, so when you have this, so if you have the same form, you basically, same way as you consolidate on a roll for book printing, you basically consolidate a lot of packaging in the same, so the machine does the same work, but it's just different designs.
That's in packaging, that's quite often the case. But still, that is a challenge. And another point is still in packaging, it was a growing market. And what I also notice is that a lot of customers, they still look for rather high productivity than short runs. Our niche, though, is the short run business. And that's another very important point. We try to work very close together with the digital printing machinery companies. Like with HP, we have a partnership for many, many years, because the workflow is important. I mean, you mentioned our high technical approach on the website on the one hand. On the other hand, the workflow is much more important. People know when they come to us what we can do. Let's say you have to prove it, but on the other hand, you have to offer full solutions in the packaging area. Otherwise, you will not be considered.
And when you say, I mean, because I think that is one of the maybe the changing facts if you look at the industry right now, because I mean the mechanical part, I think most vendors have pretty much under control today. So basically the key differentiator is basically how you integrate to the workflow and how good you are at making the machine reacting to impulses and electronics and communication. Is that so you are as much a software company as a hardware company in many ways?
And yes and no. Obviously, hardware is still the main part. We need to make sure that we can integrate the machines, that we can communicate. On the other hand, short run means short setup times, and that's something we focus on from both points of view. Number one, support, software support, as I mentioned in our folder glue, fully automatic machine, so setup times go down to a few minutes. Number two, as less parts being exchanged as possible. And then if you look especially at the hot foil embellishment, if you look at conventional machines, they heat the machines up fully, and so you have no chance to exchange from one job to a die cutting job. If you have such a changeover, you need to wait a few hours. Now with our system, we made sure that this changeover can be done in a few minutes. By changeable parts, the heated parts will be taken out and so on. So that's the focus for us, both mechanically as well as software-wise, to keep setup times low, as short as possible, that you are able to make a lot of different jobs in a day.
And I mean, that sounds really smart, and it seems like a good approach to enable the best of both worlds, basically. When you talk about short runs, I understand, of course, that if you have like long runs, you probably need you don't care so much about setup time because it runs for hours or days maybe sometimes. But is it because your equipment is slower because of the other advantages that you have chosen to focus on the short run, or is it more a sweet spot that you make as a decision from an engineering perspective?
Well, that's exactly the point. We can do both. That's why we say we're in both worlds. We are on the let's say, not on the fully digital side, as you said. There is some parts to be exchanged. However, we made sure that this will be reduced as much as possible. So that keeps, on the one hand, the quality on the conventional side. On the other hand, the speed goes down to a digital side. And when we come to the long runs, the machines are heavy-duty machines. You saw that. We have a few tons which we ship every time. We can also handle a few 10 or 100,000 of sheets easily on the machine, and there are many machines running 3 shifts, and they don't do that many changeovers. So that's, let's say, both worlds are covered, and that's why I said we look at commercial printers. They have a very versatile machine, and then they can also move into the packaging area.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because I think that if you look at the market where you see commercial print in some areas is rapidly declining, and you see everybody's really want to focus on the growth that you see from the packaging market. Obviously, that switch over between commercial and packaging is, of course, an interesting place to be. And it seems that with your products, you basically offer the diversity of being in both places. Bernd, I would like to ask you not change subject, but I'm a little bit curious because you said it was like years ago that you exhibited at the Innovation Days the last time, and I was just thinking, because right now the way I see Innovation Days changing a little bit, actually maybe quite a lot, is that the inkjet presses can manage heavier substrates with higher quality. They are taking now the option to replace conventional offset to basically be digital. And I think many printers are actually considering this right now. Is that the reason why you chose to be there now? Because with your machines and in the changing from more, let's say, transactional market to more commercial print, high quality market, that is something that you can use for your technology?
Yes, but not only. Obviously, that's our approach, and as I mentioned, we do partner with the digital print manufacturers, and we are very happy that now they go into this area with thicker substrates, etc., that we can move further into the packaging industry there. On the other hand, when I signed up for Hunkeler, it was on the one hand my experience which I had from my Miller Martini times, because these 10 years ago, that was when Karma was represented in Switzerland by Heidelberg, which actually still is, but we had a combined booth there, and we showed a machine on this booth. And now we have another approach, or another reason why we decided 2 years ago to enter the Hunkeler, or to apply for a spot there. And this is that we developed the machine further. We can now handle even bookcases for hot foiling and for embossing. And we saw that as a very good platform, because from my experience, I know these are the customers we will meet there. And in the past, we focused a bit more on exhibitions like Fachpack, a bit more in the packaging area, and I thought that would be a really interesting change to have a completely different target group, knowing that more and more packaging printers will be there, but also the real conventional book producers will come, and I'm quite curious that they see our solution.
Yeah, I can imagine, because I was just about to say, when I talk about the conversion from, let's say, traditional offset to digital, I think book market is very interesting, because it is I've been visiting quite a few printing companies in both Germany and Italy and also in the US, seeing how books of one now becomes a reality. And when I talk to the printing companies, and they can see how much more money they make by actually being able to produce one-offs, I take that even if they use your technology to do embellishments and to do the added value to print, basically they could just make even more money on it, because otherwise they would need to have digital kind of technology in order to do embellishments, for example. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that the digital embellishment is of course getting better and better. But it's still like when you see a real hot foil, or you see a foil stamp, or you see embossing and debossing and all these kind of things, still looks better when you do it the real way, right?
Well, we listen to our customers. We see obviously digital embellishment has its position, because as you mentioned, one-offs is just not possible with you need to have a cliche with our machines and so on. But there is
of course, yeah.
There is an area in between where, and as you mentioned, the quality is of essence, and you'll see at the Hunkeler Innovation Days we have a very nice product with hot foiling, which we present to show what is possible there. And then it's also the cost. If you leave the 1, 2, 3 ops, if you go up to 50 or 100, then there is a change in favor of the conventional technology, as long as the setup times are under control.
Yeah. So now you mentioned already now that is one of the things people will be able to see at Innovation Days. So what are you planning? I mean, basically you have 10 years of preparation time, right? So you should have a lot of interesting things, right?
Well, space is limited. That's
always a problem, right?
And so we have decided to present our ProCut foil, the 76 machine, ProCut 76 foil. That's the die cutter with embellishment solution. We have not the dedicated packaging machine there, but it's more the versatile, the fully equipped machine which can handle everything. We're going to show a folder with a very high quality embellishment on it, and that will be like a premiere at the Hunkeler Innovation Days for this kind of machines. Last time
great.
we showed a folder gluer, the Pro Fold 74, and this time we decided to go for the big machine, for our top machine.
So when you go there and you show these things, have you prepared some really nice samples so people can see how much you can get out of it when you push the limits?
Well, obviously that's the reason to go to an exhibition. And as I said, we also take some hardcover samples with us, and I'm quite curious listening then to these customers, what they think, how they like it. We have installed a few machines there in this market, but this is just the start, more or less, to enter this field.
And with 6,500 people expected to come over the 4 days from February 27th to March 2nd, I think there should be a lot of leads for Karma to. You just go and pick them up, right?
Well, I'll let you know after the show. Would be great.
I would like also to make an appointment with you, because I got really interested in your product. So I would like to come and do some films from your booth, also with the samples, so we can see how it works. So I will come by your booth under all circumstances. So I look forward to see how it works, basically. Dresden. Did you live in Switzerland before, or did you just work remotely, or what did you do?
Well, I lived here and there. I lived in southern Germany, and now I'm based in Dresden. My home is still in southern Germany, but workplace is in Dresden.
Because I was just thinking that Dresden seems still to be like one of the places in Germany where you have Saxo Print, you have Koenig and Bauer. It seems that a place where there's a lot of innovation taking place in the printing industry, right?
Oh, absolutely. Saxony, from the history point of view, it's been a graphic arts area with Leipzig, with the book fair and a lot of companies. Yeah. And in Dresden, if you look at Karma, it was founded 1894. So that's quite
1894. Oh,
quite a number.
That's an old company. Yeah, that's amazing. Exactly. So has it always been in the field of finishing and embellishment, or?
In fact, our founder invented the creasing line, how to prepare a creasing line in cardboard. And then they started building machinery, and the first die cutter which was built was 1932. And since we built die cutters in a, let's say, from the process point of view, the same way as we do it today, now in a much further generation, obviously.
And I take that with when we talk about customers and the journey that they are on when it comes to the digital transformation, also a company like yours need to keep developing the technology in order to keep up with the customer demand. So that must be to me it sounds like a very interesting company and a very interesting place to be in. And with all the things that we see in the market right now, everybody who is smart enough to develop the right tool, they have a good opportunity in the market, I believe.
Oh, I fully agree. And obviously, the development goes on. And coming back to this Hunkeler Innovation Days reason, the hardcover part was part of it. We developed a new gripper system and found out that would also work with other customers, with a new target group.
Okay, so you can sell it as parts to other manufacturers, basically.
Not other manufacturers, but for example, book printers. That wasn't really the target group we had in the past. Our main groups is obviously the commercial printers, but then also the packaging area, the packaging printers.
I get it.
And now this means it's a new field of customers, a new target group, if you let's say so.
Fantastic. Bernd, I think Innovation Days will be exciting. I think with the 2 cancellations, a lot of people have high expectations for the show, and I'm pretty sure that with all the gear on floor, and as Hans Gut always says, it's the only place to get real end-to-end solutions. I think it will be exciting to see the result of the show. And as you said, maybe we should talk afterwards and see if it was as good as we expect, right? But that's now it's a little bit up to you and your salespeople to make sure that you catch all the leads, right?
That's definitely true. But it's really that what we also like, or what I like, is it's a very small show.
Yeah.
So everybody will come by. It's not that
100%.
they pick you. So 100%. We can only invite everybody to come and to look at our solutions and our products.
Fantastic. Bernd, I want to thank you very much for your time here. And we did know each other before. Now we know each other a little bit more. And when I get to Lucerne and see you, then we add to another chapter in our lives. So I want to thank you very much for your time here on INKISH, and recommend everybody to go and see Karma's product at Innovation Days. What I have seen so far, and also listening to Bernd here, seems the place to go. So thank you very much, Bernd.
Morten, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present Karma on your platform, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting you there.
Always, and I look forward to meet you too. So take care. Bye-bye.